Joel Escher, educator, teaching artist with the Little Orchestra Society, is here to explain what is melody.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, or good night, composers. This is Mr. Joel back with another composing activity for you. Today we're going to be talking about melody. Now, do you know already what melody is? Melody is the tune of a song. So when you hear all the different parts of a song, for example, maybe a rock band song, you might hear the drums, you might hear the guitar, you might hear the keyboard, and you might hear the bass, but the melody, that's the tune. That's the main part of the song. Usually it's what the lead singer is singing. If there's no singer singing, it might be the main part of the music that you hear, the part that you might hum to yourself a minute or two after you hear the piece, or maybe the next day when it's like caught in your ear and you're like, oh yeah, I remember that song, that was cool. You're usually humming the melody. So what I would like us to start talking about today is how we can compose our own melodies. And we're not just gonna kind of make them up kind of randomly. We're gonna do it with some intentionality. Because that's what we do as composers, is we make music intentionally. We have an emotional goal, and we try to get the listener to feel the feelings that we want them to feel by the music we make. And that's what it means to be intentional, is we intentionally choose a feeling, and we try to get the audience to feel that feeling using the music we make. So let's start by talking about melody. Let's play a quick little warm-up game to get our ears working on melody. I'm going to play a tune. I'm going to play a melody. And it's up to you to guess what the melody is, okay? So here is the first melody. Okay, have you heard that melody before? Maybe you know that melody, but you don't know what the name of it is. It's a tricky one. This melody is called, ready? It's called Auld Lang Syne, and it is a melody of a song that we all sing when it's the New Year. When we say Happy New Year, we then also play this song. Now I'll play a little of it with the whole piano part too. It goes like this. So that's the whole thing, but the melody is the... That's the melody. All right, ready for the next one? Okay, here is the next melody. Can you guess what it is? What do you think? Very good, composers. I'm thinking you might have gotten that one. That is Happy Birthday. And Happy Birthday is a beautiful melody that we sing for people's birthdays. All right, let's do one more. How about this one? Do you know that melody? I'll give you a hint. It's a classical melody. I'll give you another hint. It's a classical melody composed by this guy. Hello, I made that melody. Are you ready? Excuse me. This melody is called Ode to Joy. It's from Beethoven's Ninth Symphony. Ludwig van Beethoven, right here. He composed that piece, and he composed it when he was deaf. He couldn't even hear the music he was composing at that point. Very interesting melody. So we have different kinds of melodies. Those are some of them. And there's different kinds of melodies that can make us feel a different way. I'm going to play two different melodies for you, and I want you to think how they make you feel. So here's the first one. And for those keeping score at home, I did mess up one note in that melody, but that is a melody called Tomorrow, and it's from a musical called Annie. I'll play it again for you. How does that melody make you feel? Well, maybe you can hold on to your ideas for how that one makes you feel. I'm going to play you a different melody. Maybe you'll feel differently on this one, and then that might even make it clearer how the first one makes you feel. So here's the second melody. And this one is called Funeral March by Chopin. I forgot. Sometimes I go right to playing the whole piece, and I shouldn't do that. This is just the melody. It goes like this. How does that melody make you feel? For me, that melody makes me feel a lot more sad, a lot more maybe hopeless. And the first melody, the Tomorrow melody, makes me feel a little bit more hopeful, makes me feel maybe a little brighter. So let's compare them side by side. Versus... Cool? So different melodies feel different ways. Now, why do you think that one melody makes you feel sad or hopeless and the other melody makes you feel happy or hopeful or excited? Well, it all has to do with the different choices we get to make as composers with the music we make. And there are three main topics that we are going to look at today about how you can choose to make your melody intentionally. The first one, I wonder if this is going to show up in reverse. It says speed. I actually don't know. I'll have to double check, but you can read it backwards even if it shows up backwards. It says speed. And speed is how fast a melody is. A melody can have lots of quick notes, and that might give it a fast speed, or it might have some long, drawn-out notes, and that might give it a slow speed. Another version of speed is the actual tempo, the pulse of the music. The pulse could be kind of medium, it could be quick. It could be slow. So the different pulses of the music can change the overall speed. Another way we could change our melody is the volume. How we write the volume. We as composers are allowed to write down how loud or quiet we want our players to play our melody. So we can write F, which means loud. It means forte in Italian, and that means loud in Italian. Or we can write P, which means piano, which is Italian for quiet. So we can make the melody louder or softer, louder or quieter. The last one is the pitch. And the pitch of the melody is higher or lower. Sometimes melodies go way up high, and sometimes melodies go way down low, and everywhere in between. And sometimes different areas, what we call ranges of pitch, can make a listener feel different kinds of feelings. Higher pitches sometimes can feel more excited, and lower pitches can sometimes feel more depressing, but all of this is like a swirly interrelated thing where it's like if you have something that's low and fast and what was the last one? So speed, the pitch is low, the speed is fast, the volume is quiet. Low and fast and quiet, maybe that feels a certain kind of way. Maybe if the speed is slow and the volume is still fast and the pitch is a very high pitch, then maybe that's gonna feel a certain way too. So we can make different choices and they all relate to each other, and there's no like law, there's no like hard and fast rule all the time, but there's some general guidelines. Generally, the faster the speed, the higher the pitch, and the louder the volume, the brighter and more positive the emotions and energy are gonna be. And generally, the lower, the slower the speed, I try to use the right language, the right adjectives to describe this. The slower the speed, the lower the volume, softer. The slower the speed, the quieter or softer the volume, and the lower the pitch, the more sort of sad or sort of depressing, or sort of more of a downer, the music can be for an audience. So with everything going on right now, I think that we should write something that is happy and uplifting and maybe is a melody that will make people feel happy. So we're gonna compose one all together and we're gonna make choices for all three: volume, speed, volume, and pitch. And then afterward, maybe we'll do one more, just making one choice, because that's gonna be your activity, is to choose one of these, speed, volume, or pitch, and be intentional about the music that you make. So let's go ahead and do it. I have a bag of emoji tiles, and I am going to pick one of these emoji tiles out for us. And we're going to compose a melody that's inspired by that emoji tile. This is truly random. I have no idea what we're going to pull out. Let's see. How about right in the middle here? Ooh, cool. Okay. It's a red bowling ball. Red bowling ball makes me think of, put that right here with Beethoven. Red bowling ball makes me think of parties, makes me think of birthday parties, makes me think of like bowling a strike and like the feeling of like, yeah, I got that strike, awesome. So maybe we can do a melody that's like the feeling of like bowling the ball, and it's like, ooh, is it gonna be a strike? Ooh, and then it hits the pins and it's a strike, yay! So like, I'm kind of creating like a story for myself, because sometimes I think that making the story, because stories have a beginning, middle, and end, and melodies have a beginning, middle, and end, can be really helpful. So why don't we start that way? How should we compose this? Why don't we compose it with our voices? We could use our piano, of course. We could use guitar if we wanted to, and we could use any instrument that you have around the house. You could even use glasses. If you saw my previous lesson, you can fill glasses with water and you can use those too. But today, let's use our voices. So let's see, again, we're gonna have it start with a low pitch. Or not again, but let's go ahead and talk about these. So let's talk about pitch. We'll start with a low pitch, like the bowling ball on the alleyway, on the lane. And then the pitch is gonna get a little bit higher, and at the end it's gonna go boom, like very high, just like hitting the pins. For volume, similarly, it's gonna start quiet, then it's gonna get louder and louder and louder, and then boom! And then the speed, I think the speed is gonna be like the same, because the bowling ball travels at the same speed. So it'll be same speed, same speed, same speed, same speed, same speed. And then I feel like I want to make like a pause, like we're just watching and like time stands still for a second. Like, is it gonna be a strike? Is it not? And then it is a strike. So it's gonna be same speed, same speed, same speed, same speed, pause, and then boom. Okay? All right, here we go. The melody starts quiet, gets louder, starts low, stays the same speed with a little pause at the end, and starts low volume and then gets louder. Here we go. Dum 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 dum. Ba-bam! Woo, that was fun. Dum 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 dum. Ba-dam! Does that feel like a bowling ball hitting a strike? For me, it does. Maybe it doesn't for you, and that's okay too. Not everyone experiences music the same way, and that's also totally cool. Sometimes people might get a different emotional reaction than what you intended, and that's totally fine. They're super allowed to have whatever feelings they feel with the music that they listen to, just like you're super allowed to feel the way you feel when you make your music. So let's do one together, and this is going to be like an example of the activity you can do. So why don't we do, let me think. Why don't we make a melody that is specifically a slow melody? And we'll get another tile for inspiration. If you have these kind of tiles, you can use them. If you want to open up a random book, maybe one of your parents or your adults' books, and find a random sentence, that sentence can be an inspiration for a melody. Or if you're a musical person and you want to make a melody without anything else to inspire you, that's totally okay too. Oh, I found a soccer ball. Awesome. Soccer was the sport I played as a kid, and it's one of my favorites. So I'll put that up with Beethoven too. That's a sports tiles today. And we are gonna make a soccer melody that has a low, can we say a slow speed? Yeah, slow speed. So I'll do like a dribbling melody. Boom. Boom. Oh, I have a better idea. I'm gonna be the goalie waiting for, you know, when like the ball is in the opponent's court and like your team is doing awesome and the ball's like all the way over there and you're the goalie and you're just like, I'm not rooting against my own team, but I kind of want to play, so maybe I can just get someone can knock the ball my way. I'll do that melody, okay? It sounds like this. Boom, ba-dum, 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 boom, ba-dum, ba-dum. And that's the melody. I made it slow, and I was thinking about what it feels like maybe to be a goalie, just kind of bored, right? It's kind of a boring melody. Nice long notes, and the pulse. Ba-dum, ba-dum. Very slow. So now you can make a melody. And you know what? Why don't we go through and do one for each of the other skills too, so in case you want an example of how to do volume and pitch, I can do that too. So here's one for volume. I'll go a little bit quicker for these ones. Look at this dude. This dude's awesome. All right, so this dude is very cool. And when people are like too happy and too excited, like Mr. Joel, sometimes that's not the coolest thing, is it? Sometimes you see cool people and they're kind of like, yeah. So I'm gonna do pitch. I'm gonna do low pitch. But I'm gonna keep it like faster and all that, but like just focusing on low pitch. That's all you gotta worry about for this dude. All right, let's see, low pitch. Cool guy, low pitch. Dum 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 boom 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 boom. Boom 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 boom. Does that kind of feel like that guy? Boom 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 boom. Hey. Boom, 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 yo. All right, let's do one more. This is kind of fun. All right, so we did speed, we did pitch, let's do volume. I picked a tennis ball, but we've already done 2 sports balls, so I'm gonna shuffle it up and do something that's not a sports ball. Let's see what else we got in here. Oh, wow, this is a tricky one. This is, how do I even hold this? This is a percentage sign. So percentages is a math concept. So maybe we'll do something kind of smart sounding for like math and how hard you have to think about when you're working on math equations. And we said it was going to be a volume thing. So when I'm thinking about math, I'm pretty quiet, like I'm in my head, right? So we're going to do a thinking melody. It's going to be quiet, okay? Dum 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 ba da 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 dum da da dum. Ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-da-dum, ba-da-dum, dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, ba-bum. And so there's my thinking melody. Now you have all the tools you need to compose your own melodies intentionally, choosing volume or pitch or speed, and making a melody that either makes people feel happier and brighter or sadder and more down. And my recommendation, just because of the times we're in, is why not make a melody, challenge yourself to make a happy melody, because your happiness and making music that is happy for you and playing it and singing it and performing it for people who you perform it for might make them feel happy too. And we need to spread as much happiness as possible right now. So if you can do that for us, why don't you go ahead and make a melody and share it with Little Orchestra, and also share it with your adults and with your other friends. Maybe your teacher would like to hear it if you are on virtual shares with your teacher. So let us know how it goes, and I hope that you had a great time learning a little bit about melody and making some fun melodies today. Take care, everybody.